Hello guys, welcome to the inaugural video for Three Crows Tarot. I will be doing readings today. I am a multi-generational psychic, medium, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient telepath, and I do intuitive readings. My readings may look a little different from other people's. I just do what card calls to me. I have a plethora of tarot decks and oracle decks that I will be using, and I just do what calls to me. And so now we are going to be using the power of 369 to find out what message is meant for you and to come into your life. So if you choose this pile, it's going to be pile 3. This pile is going to be pile 6. This pile is going to be pile 9. And this pile is going to be pile 12. So you'll be able to do 4 distinct readings that you can choose for yourself which one you feel resonates with your life. Okay, again, this is going to be for 3, 6, 9, 12. I wrote the numbers a little darker this time because I realized it probably wasn't the best way to see it. And so what I'm going to be doing now is I will be using some of these tarot decks that I have here on the table. Now, if I feel led to, I may sage the area. If I feel like the energy is heavy, I may use my selenite wand to cleanse the deck. The bell also as well. I like to have crystals around me, and then if we ever need to do away with something, we will use the paper and marker and burn it in our little, I like to call it a little genie's lamp over there. And I also have a rock crystal just to kind of keep the energy balanced. So what we're going to do is today I'm feeling led to use the Mermaid Tarot, the Transparent Tarot, Blind Spot Oracle, and the Enchanted Map. So I will be grabbing those decks. All right, we will be starting with the Enchanted Map Oracle deck because that's what I was led to start with. And I will be choosing a card for each reading. Now, what you want to do is you want to choose the card that best resonates with you. And I would say that you're going to choose the very first card that best resonates with you. So for pile 3, we're going to be using Dragon's Lair. Pile 6. We're going to be using Rock Bottom. Pile 9. We're going to be using Spark. And pile 12 is guiding me to shuffle one more time. We will be using Field of Dreams. Now what I will do is I am going to read each one of these so you can see which one you feel leads best to you if the picture doesn't necessarily call to you. So for 19, Dragon's Lair. Remember, this is for pile 3. You are always protected and divinely directed. You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. You're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to the core. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating. Like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you'll be changed forever. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling you, one that will test your courage. The choice is yours, but there is greater value in risk-taking than remaining unchallenged. New territories are waiting to be discovered. Again, this is for pile 3. All right, we are going to read now pile 6. Rock bottom. Surrender and acceptance are the keys to freedom. As difficult as it may be to accept, it seems that you've reached a point where you can go no further. The same manner in which you've been doing things, perhaps you've hit a proverbial brick on the wall or experienced a deep sense of loss and don't know where to turn. The old way of doing things must be discarded fully in order to move forward and upward. A new direction and a new strategy are called for. The only way out is through surrender. Accept things as they are and admit that you have no idea what to do next. If you wait in that heartfelt moment of release, then a stairwell will appear like magic, and all the manner of synchronicities will show you the way to the higher ground. The rock bottom card is a sign that a miracle is about to occur, but only if you let go completely. That again is for pile 6. Now, you can either be drawn to the card or to the number, whichever your spirit tells you, and that is the message that you need to hear. We're going to go to pile 9, spark. You are a clear channel for divine creativity. There's a spark of creativity in you, and you have every reason to move forward with optimism and hope. Open yourself to inspiration and allow life to show you its beauty and part in co-creating it. This is the perfect time to give birth to an idea, start a new relationship or job, or begin any endeavor. Attraction is high as you connect with others who can co-create joyous experiences and join with you in the expressing the finer aspects of life. Watching a spark turn to a flame and stoking that fire is a gratifying activity. And last but certainly not least, 12, field of dreams. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are always engaging the vast field of pure potential. This is a perfect time to harness the field of vast potential not realized in life. Great abundance is yours if you're willing to do the work alongside the gentle gardener. Be clear about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Concentrate on your best life, regardless of the temporary outer conditions imposed upon you by the greater world, which has its own story to tell. You have a powerful basket full of seeds that are quite powerful, for your talents are divinely inspired and will indeed lead to a great harvest to be shared with others. You will reap what you have sown. Dream big, dream beautiful, take action, and tend to the garden of your life and experience the extraordinary. Now, what we will be doing is we will be using the transparent tarot deck to go deeper into the meanings of these cards. We will be using the mermaid tarot deck and the blind spot oracle cards to develop deeper into the meaning of what these cards mean for you in your life today. Now remember, you will be choosing your deck 3, 6, 9, or 12, and look at the video link descriptions to find out and get straight to your reading. All right, guys, for all of you that have chosen the Dragon Layer 3, we're going to go ahead and get started with your reading. All right, so I have just been led to cleanse the energy, so I will be lighting a little sage. We are just going to have a little sage going there just to make sure that the energy is clear and dispelled. And so I'm being led to use the blind spot oracle deck first, and I'm going to pull you guys 3 cards from here. So this oracle deck is led to guide you to see what you do not see in your life, to perhaps to see why you are about to enter into this dragon's lair, or why you are currently in the dragon's lair. And remember, if you want to look back at what the dragon's lair is, please look at the beginning of our video. So when I picked up this deck, these two fell out. So I'm going to use these two and also going to pull one more there for you. I'm being led to use the top card, so I'm just going to do that. All right. So we have 63, we have 64, and 52. These are the reasons why you are feeling like you are in the Dragon Slayer that you perhaps aren't able to see. So 63 symbol looks like this. 64 symbol looks like this. And then 52 symbol looks like this. And we will be reading from the Oracle Blind Spot Oracle deck. Now, if you do want to purchase these cards, they do come with these temporary tattoos. I haven't used any of them yet, that you can put on your body if you feel led to, if you decide to purchase these decks. I'm not affiliated with anyone yet, but I did find most of my decks, I would say, on Amazon. So feel free to look for these decks if you feel like they call to you. Eventually I will set up a store, but right now I'm just, starting off. So I just want to get the messages out there. So with 52, we're going to go ahead and look at that. Okay, 52, overlay. So overlay, if you have drawn this sigil, you are currently stuck in an overlay. You're being called to step out of it so as to base your thoughts, words, and actions on reality instead. Imagine that a person is in a prison cell from which there is no escape. They cannot cope with the reality of the prison cell, so they begin to escape from it with their mind. They start to play a game of pretend where the prison is a palace instead. The person who brings food to the cell every day is a servant. The walls are not the stone of a prison, but of a medieval castle. The bars are pillars. The mind has a capacity to play pretend to such a degree that every element of reality can be seen as a different element. But this game is not really a game because your mental and emotional survival depends on it. The pretend reality sits over the actual reality like an overlay. Most of us experience this overlay when we were children. We played pretend. For example, it was easy to see our family golden retriever as a dragon if we were pretending that we were a knight in his shining white armor. But for some of us, this overlay went far beyond pretend. In circumstances which we could not cope with the reality of our childhood, the coping mechanism of pretend became a way to literally get away from and escape our reality. When this is the case, we start to feel the overlay is more real than the actual reality. We don't want to admit it to. Even when it seemed like we were not pretending, we were in reality to other people. We were still experiencing life through the lens of our overlay. It is common for children to use this coping technique because childhood is such a uniquely powerless experience for so many children. They cannot escape it. They cannot make choices to change their reality, and so often they end up developing coping mechanisms like overlays so as not to be stuck in a tormenting reality where they have no control. But sometimes this coping mechanism continues past childhood to a time where we actually do have the capacity to change our reality. When this is the case, the coping mechanism gets us into serious trouble. As an overlay is a dangerous thing because it prevents us from seeing reality. We could be heading towards a cliff, but because we are not looking at reality, we're looking at our overlay, we are convinced it's a beautiful horizon line. Overlays make it so we commit to something that isn't real, especially in relationships. And eventually, that when that overlay begins to corrode, we end up in a reality that is the opposite of what we would choose. Nowhere are overlays more present than in relationships. The reality of our relationship life is often painful. We are desperate to have the vision we see in our heads of what we want. Maybe it's the picture of that perfect family, which could make us feel belonging and closeness and connection. Our commitment is to that picture of what it is that we want. There is nothing wrong with creating that as long as we're creating it in reality. The danger is that the picture can become an overlay. It can prevent us from seeing reality. When this is the case, when we meet someone, we ignore all the red flags that are telling us that in reality, this person does not match the vision of what we want. We instead become like casting directors, where what we want is actually a game of pretend played out in a stage of life. We are simply trying to trick the person or pick the person who acts the most like they could play the character of the vision of our life as we would like it to be. Any sign that suggests that they could play that character well makes us convinced that we are actually that character, that they are actually that character in reality. But the truth is they are not. We are not in love with the actual person. We are in love with the character or the idea of who we want them to play in our life. When they act in character, we approve of them. And when they break from that character, we disapprove of them and try to criticize them back into character. We are often so desperate to have relationships that we also mislead others into believing that we are the character belonging to someone else's vision of what they want. We are like chameleons or actors trying to become those characters so we can be loved and wanted. But this is a disaster in the end, because it is impossible to play the pretend or keep acting forever. We will break character. When we do not see people clearly in reality for what they actually are, and we do not enter into relationships in a completely authentic way, we are not creating a relationship in reality. If you have drawn this sigil, you are in an overlay. Unless you see that overlay for what it is and see the reality underneath it, you will be unable to make the choices and changes that will manifest to what you desperately want in reality. Now you are just pretending that they are happening in reality, when really they are a fantasy you are living in, so that you do not have to face reality. So a big reason as to why you're in this dragon layer is because you have chosen not to face reality. And when you do not face reality and you create things for what it is that you feel like you want them to be, instead of what it is that they truly are, you're doing a disservice to yourself. It prevents healing. It prevents you from living a life that you could be living. And it also is not fair to the person that you are creating these characters with, or having them live in this fixated false reality with you. Because wouldn't it be so much more perfect to have the reality that is meant for you, that is real, and something that you don't have to pretend? So what I'm going to do is that with 64 and 63, I'm going to read why you've chosen these sigils and not necessarily the entire thing, so that way the reading doesn't get too lengthy unless it is that my soul calls me to read these cards. So 64 and 63, but 52 is the chief reason as to why you are having this dragon's lair, are in this dragon's lair, and then 64 and 63 are the underlying causes as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 64. The mask of altruism. If you have drawn this sigil, you are being asked to see what society has made self-focus and self-interest so bad and wrong that you can no longer see selfishness and self-interest in yourself. Instead, you have disguised it as altruism. And I'm being led to read this whole one as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it. We use the mask of altruism in many ways to disguise our own self-centered interests, helping or rescuing someone or something as a way of externally rescuing yourself, donating to, starting, or helping out philanthropic efforts in order to see yourself as a good person, showing off how good you are, helping people in order to get appreciation, having children and telling yourself that you can give them so much love. And in fact, you did it in order to be validated as a person by having a mini-me and getting their love. Sacrificing yourself as to get the esteem and self-concept of yourself as being good and right. Dedicating your life to the success of one of your children and convincing yourself it's for their good, when in reality, because their success reflects well on you as a parent and person, leading someone to see themselves as defective and bad so you can see yourself as good and healthy, and then come in as a fixer of their problem so you can tell yourself that you are so good for your dedication to them despite how much of a problem they are. Doing something for someone in order to put them in debt to you, or using it as leverage so you can guilt them the next time you ask them for something and they say no. There can be many more examples, but in all of them, the altruism being shown on the outside is a disguise of self-centered motivation underneath. It can be very hard to see that you are doing this because we so often use altruism specifically in order to see ourselves as a good person And recognizing that you have in recognizing that you have ulterior motives, it makes you feel like you're a really bad person. But if you had drawn this sigil, you are being called into graduated self-awareness. You're being asked to see that it is not evil to have self-centered interests. We all have individual wants and needs. But when those self-centered interests become dangerous, it's because we aren't consciously aware of them, and we begin to get them in indirect and disguised ways. If you are meeting your needs in this way, it's a guarantee that it will backfire on you somehow. This sigil wants to spare you from that pain. If you have drawn the sigil, it will benefit you to spend some time accepting this energy of sigil 2 as well as this one, and coming into understanding of this message as well. And so sigil 2, I'm not going to read it, but I'm just going to tell you what it's about. So sigil 2 is self-concept. It's basically about the blind spot in your desire to see yourself and for other people to see yourself as a good person. And that the ego is a singular identity that you call it by name. It is a amalgamation, enunciation of all the things you identify with. The things you and I call me or mine. Ego is a self-concept. Because we are raised relationally dependent in a society in which our survival depends upon each other and has for thousands of years, the only way for ourselves to survive is that if we are in good favor of the rest of the social group. So basically that is, related to 64 by letting you know that, see yourself as the truest version of who you are. Remember that there is no evil. Evil is an illusion. The only thing that there is love, light, and truth. Everything else is an illusion and it's false. So the shadow side of you is just as important as the light side of you, because it all, encompasses who you are, the yin and the yang. And so instead of doing things against your own nature and against what you truly want, just for people to see you as good, be your true and authentic self, and the right people will come to you and the right things will come to you, and do things because your heart truly wants to do them, not because you want something out of it. And then don't feel bad about it if it's something that you truly don't want to do and you don't do that because you're acting out of your own self-interest. And at the end of the day, other people may not see that you're living a lie, but you yourself see it as you're living a lie. So you can see how it ties to you having an overlay. And then while you are now going to this dangerous territory of the Dragon Slayer, because you are putting yourself into circumstances that you don't need to be in, that are dangerous to you, because you're acting out of your own self-interest. You're acting in opposite of the person that you truly are and that you truly want to be, because of the way you want others to perceive you, which is also leaning into that whole false reality that you are currently living. And these blind spot articles, they're not easy pills to swallow. They're not even things that you are maybe even consciously aware of. But the whole point of the blind spot oracle deck is to bring out those things that you may not be able to see for yourself, or that you aren't really brave enough to admit. So these are not easy messages to hear, and they can be difficult, and right at first, oh wow, that's definitely not me. But when the thing is that your soul is only going to call to you in this number 3, and your soul is only going to call to you to see and view these cards and view this message if it is something that you truly need to hear. And sometimes the toughest pills to swallow are the ones that are best for you and are going to heal you and get you to where you need to be. And that may be a hard thing to swallow, or a hard thing to realize looking at the man in the mirror, or the woman in the mirror, or the person in the mirror. But that's the only way you'll be able to change. And change isn't easy. Change is difficult, or else everybody would be doing it. Challenging, is a difficult thing, but being comfortable, that's the enemy of growth. And in order to progress in your life, you need to be able to move forward and grow and acknowledge the things that are maybe hard to acknowledge, because the whole goal of it. Okay, so that message was so difficult to hear that my phone actually went out of storage and I had to clear up some data. So that's just leading me to believe that, you may have to even clear up some of the stress or some of the things in your life, or some of the things that are overcrowding you, or some of the things that are just like so heavy in your consciousness to even be able to accept this truth, that, you know, that you have skewed your reality so much that it isn't even real. Like, it's not easy to accept that, you know, you may be in a relationship that isn't ideal for you, and that your spouse or your partner or your lover really isn't, you know, all the things that you say that they are. Like, you know, see all those people that are on social media and you believe like they have the perfect relationship. You know, like they go to all of these fun places, they have all of these, you know, matching cute outfits, they go on all these, you know, vacations, they have dinner, you know, every night of the week. But you don't realize that, you know, that's a false picture that they're portraying to the world, because really they're arguing and fighting with the next person. You know, the videos are heavily edited. You know, they may be using their last couple of dollars to go to this fancy dinner that they really can't even afford, all to, you know, show an appearance. But at the end of the day, like, the whole world, you know, may believe and buy into this false reality, but deep down inside, those people that are living that reality know, you know, that it isn't true. And so sometimes you just got to clear out some of the things in your life in order to be able to even view the truth of the reality. You know, like how, you know, you can be in a room full of clutter and you won't even realize like some of the things that you had until you start cleaning and getting rid of some of that stuff, until you start donating some of that stuff that you no longer need. You didn't realize that, hey, you know, I didn't even need to buy this because I had 3 of them sitting in the closet, because it's just so much stuff inside, so much stuff that's crowded that you don't even realize, you know, what you have. And so as you begin to, you know, peel back the layers and be more comfortable in your truth, the truth and the reality of who it is that you truly are, you will be able to come out of this dragon slayer mentality, be able to dispel those false illusions. Just like, you know, if you had a traumatic childhood, you learn to make reality to one that you can cope with. And that is a hard thing, like ripping off a Band-Aid. You know, sometimes you want to go slow, but we all know that the best way to get off a Band-Aid is just rip it off and deal with the pain instead of peeling it back slowly, because it hurts so much more. But if that's all that you can do and that's all that you can take, then peel back that Band-Aid as slow as you need to, but make sure you get that off so you can heal. Peel back that false illusion of the reality so that way you can heal and move forward and begin to live the life that you truly deserve. Begin to be your truest and authentic self, because when you are your truest and authentic self, that's when all of the things magnetize into your life, because you're living your truth that you truly want. And then you will have a life that you don't have to pretend. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 63, which is the last one for this blind spot oracle, and then we'll move on to some tarot. And for you guys, I'm being led to use the Mermaid Tarot deck. So we're going to go into that. And I think we're going to go ahead and talk about how you can begin to get out of that, overlay, how you can begin to get out of this dragon's lair, how you can begin to accept the truth and know that, you know, you don't have to be completely selfless to the point that you have emptied your own cup to be a good person, because you are a good person when you're acting within your true self and your true nature. And God loves you regardless. The Creator loves you regardless, because they created you specifically to be exactly who it is that you are. And as long as you aren't hurting or harming anybody and living in your truth, that is exactly what you are supposed to do, whether other people approve of it or not. Because at the end of the day, you were born here by yourself, even if you were a twin, and you're going to leave here by yourself. So the only person that you need to please and be true to is yourself. So we're going to go to 63, pushing them away. If you have drawn the sigil in this situation, you are pushing someone or something away that you shouldn't. And I'm going to interpret that is that you are pushing away your own self, or maybe even me, because I'm telling you these harsh truths that you don't really want to accept or hear. Are you pushing someone away so that you can avoid the pain of pushing you away? Are you pushing away their help? Are you pushing away their love? Are you rejecting someone? Are you demonstrating your disapproval towards someone? Are you being dismissive, minimizing, or unloving to them in some way? Are you denying something? Have you disowned something or someone from being a part of yourself? Are you telling yourself that someone can't hear, feel, or understand you? Are you maintaining a self-concept of being different from and apart from others? Are you telling yourself a story about something that is causing you to push it away? If you have drawn this sigil, you may need intimacy, but you are terrified of it. Intimacy can be broken down to a 3-word phrase: into, me, see. First and foremost, intimacy is to see into another, as to deeply connect. And, in the spirit of everything that we've read about, I feel like this card is talking most to you pushing away your true and authentic self. I can tell that the people who have drawn this card may not even finish this reading because it's so difficult to hear, because it is so far-fetched from what you want to believe that you truly are, that you don't even want to hear it. So you want to push away this truth. You want to push away the real version of yourself, because maybe you don't even like the true version of yourself, but you should, because you are lovable and God created you in love. And if God loves you, you should definitely love yourself. If you have drawn this sigil, again, you may need intimacy. Into, me, see, or into yourself, see. Intimacy is to see into another, as to deeply connect. But intimacy goes beyond just seeing someone. Intimacy is seeing into, feeling into, listening to, and perceiving and understanding someone. To have genuine intimacy with someone, we have to be willing to commit to becoming an expert on them. You may be terrified that intimacy is going to lead to something that feels bad. For example, we may be terrified that if we let someone really see the truth of us, they will not tolerate it or accept it. If they know the truth of us, they may use it against us later. If they know our weaknesses and vulnerabilities, they can capitalize on them to our detriment, and conversely, for their own best self-interest. If they know what we really want, they can use that as leverage to control us. If they give us closeness, we may feel obligated to make them happy, and in return, which is the kind of indebtedness, and consequently we feel we have lost the freedom as a result. If they find out things about us that they might judge us as bad or wrong, they may increase our feelings of shame or even abandon or reject us. If we let them in, they might find a way to engulf us as to completely, so that we do not even have ourselves at all. It may be wise to spend some time imagining being completely close to someone, or having no distance between yourself and another person, so they can feel, hear, and understand you and be permanently linked to you, and see what imprint of fear arises as a result. This sigil is asking you to look at what you are pushing away in the situation and why. This sigil is asking you to bring that thing closer, include it as a part of you, and include it in yourself and your life instead of pushing it away. I'm asking you today to not push away the harsh reality, and appeal is that you are not being your truest you that you can be. I'm asking you to be intimate with yourself. Find out what it is that you love. Find out what it is that you truly desire. Find out what it is that you truly want for your life. And it's okay if it's not the ideas of what everybody else have wanted for you. It's okay if it's not what your spouse wants you to be. It's okay if it's not what your children want you to be. It's okay if it's not what your parents want you to be. It's okay if it's not what your religious leader says you should be. What is okay is the person that God created you to be. And one thing that I truly believe is that people should never tell children what they should be, because children come to this realm knowing what and who they are, and then we destroy it by conforming them to the ideas of what it is that we want for them. But children always know and remember their mission and their purpose from God. And so go back to your earliest memory of what it is that you wanted to be, and who it is that you thought you were, and what it is that you thought you wanted, and start from there. And, start to dispel the things that aren't true, because deep down inside, you know what is and isn't true for your reality. You know what you have created. You know that the illusion that you have placed upon your life so that others can be more accepting of you, or others could be envious of you, or others could, want to be like you, or others could accept you. But the point of the matter is, at the end of the day, you have to love and accept yourself. And so we're going to move past the blind spot oracle deck, and I'm going to go ahead and place these to the side. So if you feel like you want to look at the images a little longer, they will be here for you. And if you decide to buy this deck and want to go along with the images yourself, please feel free to look at them and take a screenshot or, whatever it is that you feel like, you need to do to have these out. And so now I am going to go to my mermaid tarot deck, because that's what I'm being called to use for you guys. And this deck has beautiful imagery. I really love it, and I connect with it. I've used it a few times, and we're going to see what we got. So first thing I'm going to do is draw a few cards to kind of see, how you got yourself into this situation. And then I'm going to draw a few after that to see how you're going to get out. So I'm going to clear the energy of the deck. And because that reading was a little heavy, we're going to go ahead and ring the bell. We can kind of dispel any of those negative energies that may be causing you to feel some type of way about the message that you had, and know that you can be uplifted and kind of like get out that frequency of pain and hurt and self-doubt and all that stuff that's causing you to be in this overlay. But let's go ahead and see how we got here, and then we're going to see how we are getting out. All right, y'all. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should I pull this last one? Yes, could it stay that? Oh, you want to do 7 or 6 is okay. All right. Should we do 7? 10. I think we're good. We'll flip this up and see. 7 of Cups, desire. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take this bottom one too. 7. All right. 6 of Cups, 8 of Cups, Sun, 4 of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the Devil. So for me, I'm going to show you these beautiful imagery on these cards. And you know what? Let's go ahead and stand them up so you can just go ahead and take a look and see them. And we can kind of talk about it. And then our bottom right here. Okay, so what I'm seeing right here is that you first started this overlay and got into this dragon's lair because now you are being challenged to rise out of it. And you first got into this as what I suspected from childhood. It was because of family or societal expectations on you as to how you got into this in the first place. So 6 of Cups kind of relates to family and, passing down things, between generations, and just like a general card of like, dealing with family and togetherness and traditions and things that are passed down, and like sort of like a legacy type of thing. And then 8 of Cups is like when you're feeling like, walking away from something or something is leaving you. And then the Sun, in this reading, I'm just going to say it was like you were worried about being out of the absence of love and light. And 4 of Wands is a stability card. And then King of Pentacles is like someone who you can be interpreted as like someone who is definitely about their coin, someone who, controls the finances, or someone who bestows upon the, stability and a provider for the family. And then the Devil is, it's like, you see how this one is trapped. They're feeling trapped within this energy. So the Devil, I'm taking this as someone who's being trapped, and you see how that all of their trapped, and then all of the gold and treasures and things like that are just on the outside. So they're actually being trapped because they were falling for this gold and stuff like this from the King of Pentacles. And it was also their desire. So this is letting me know that you guys got into this dragon slayer by your desire to please your family unit, by your desire to please those that you felt connected to, or your desire to actually be in or stay a part of a family. Perhaps some of you might have been in foster care or had untraditional family relationships. Maybe you live with grandparents or aunts or uncles, or a family friend, or maybe you guys had a family relationship that was not, that was traditional on the outside but was tumultuous inside. So perhaps you had, a parent that was a narcissist. I'm leaning more towards the father figure or male figure or provider figure being the narcissist, and that there had to be like certain family expectations that had to be followed, keeping up appearances despite what was going on inside. And that's kind of why you feel like it's so important for you in your life today to keep up appearances, to make sure that no matter what's going on inside, no matter how tumultuous your ocean is, that you have to make sure that you keep up appearances, that nobody else should see what's going on. And so you are so afraid of what the world will think of you because you're so used to conforming to the ideas of what it is that your family unit wanted for you, or the family unit that you wanted to accept for you, that you choose their identity of you over your identity for yourself. Because you didn't want to be feeling left out. You didn't want to feel like you were out in the cold. You didn't want to be out of the light of love and the sunshine. You wanted to feel the warmth of their affections, and you felt like the only way that you can get the warmth of the affections or the acceptance of the group that you were a part of or wanted to be a part of is that you conformed in a certain way. And this conforming gave you stability. This Pentacles from the provider, whether it was providing love or gifts or monetary or security in the form of making sure you had a warm bed and food in your belly. You acted out of your own self-interest just so that you could feel the love from this, or feel the abundance from this provider figure in your life. And it started again from childhood. You didn't want them to leave. You didn't want to be absent of their love and light. And so you conformed into who it is that you were not, just so that you would be there. But now it has left you trapped, and you're still feeling like outside of the love and outside of the abundance of, even if you're not in this situation anymore, that you're a child, and maybe you're even able to bring in your own abundance. Perhaps you've attracted a person into your life that is an emulation of that father figure or that provider figure in your life. Even if you were raised in a single parent home, the provider figure had more of a dominant or masculine energy, or they wouldn't have been able to be a provider. And so whether that provider figure was male or female, you felt that their dominance and their narcissism, that you had to be within line of that vision that they wanted from you, outside of who it is that you wanted for yourself, in order to be protected. So it was your desire to get into this dragon's lair, which you are finding yourself in now, because your soul is calling you to peel back those layers. Your soul is calling you to get yourself out of the situation. Your soul is calling you to be the truest you that you are. And, I feel like a lot of hope in this message, because you're able to identify how you got here in the first place. And now we're going to see, how you're going to get out. And so again, I'm going to go ahead and show these cards one more time before we shuffle them back in the deck, because you got here from childhood trauma, which is what I suspected at first, and now we're going to show you how you're going to get out of it. So again, 6 of Cups, 8 of Cups, Sun, 4 of Wands, King of Pentacles, the Devil, and 7 of Cups. Now we're going to see how we're getting out. Reshuffle again. How can they get out of this dragon's lair now that they have seen the truth of how they got into it? And I can see that some of your spirits are lifted up because, oh wow, so they just laid out for you. So we're going to use those. I can see some of your spirits are already lifting up, because you're starting to believe well, maybe, you didn't want to believe me with the blind thought tarot because I'm like, that is a really heavy thing, but now you're definitely going to know because you've pinpointed that's the reason why, and you're starting to believe the truth is like, wow, you know what? That is where it all started. So let's go ahead and see how we're going to fix this, because we're all about fixing. And again, we got 7 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, so we're going to go ahead and take that. And that's all about desire too. All right, so let's go here. All right. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man in the first position. Like, that's like being at a standstill. It's like, you know, being on hold right before you're about to make your decision. Because, like, it's not like the Hermit card. It's like the waiting. Like, you're feeling more trapped in the waiting rather than the Hermit, which is by choice. The Death card. Now, death is not a bad thing. Death is a renewal. Death is like a renewal for a new beginning. Death is about rebirth to the next phase. We got the Emperor. The Emperor is the author and creator of their own life. They make the decisions. We got the Hermit. We have the World. We have 2 of Swords reversed. And then we have Temperance, which is balance. And then, of course, like at the bottom of the deck, we have 7 of Cups again. Desire. And I'm going to put this up front, even though it was at the bottom, because I want you to know that your desire is about what it is that you want for your life. And your desire right now, I believe your desire is to change. So we got the 7 of Cups here. And again, this is going to be our leading card, the desire to change. And I'm making it our leading card because we got it at the beginning, and now it is full circle again. Okay, so the Hangman. Again, in this position, the Hangman is about being stuck. You're feeling stuck right now. This is a lot of information to digest. Like, wow, you know, if it's rooted in childhood, you know, like, how am I going to get rid of that trauma so that I can move forward, right? But the whole thing of the matter is that you have to die to everything that you were and everything that you believed you were, because it was never who you were truly. You have to, just like they say in the Bible, you know, as if you don't come as a little child, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. And what are children? They believe in miracles. They're open. They're wondrous. You know, they believe in the impossible. So you have to believe in the impossible, that it's not too late for you to change in life. It's not too late for you to begin again. It's not too late for you to dispel and become a new person, which is the truest you that you were always meant to be. So you have to die to the old you to become the new you. And you can see that, you know, you are not going to be in this alone. They have people that are helping them. You see that these little ones, they're dying from all of this muck and all of this oil and all this pollution. They were suffocating and died. And then this man is giving them back to the ocean. And ocean is all about healing. Ocean is all about, water is all about, you know, cleansing and renewal. And so they are taking them. You see that how they're dressed in white, like they're angels, taking them to be comforting them, you know, helping them go through this transition so that they'll be washed and clean and made anew and be able to come into this emperor status. And remember, the emperor, again, is someone who makes their own decision. That's somebody that's come into their own power. That's somebody that is the author of their own life, that they are the ruler of their own life. Nobody tells an emperor what to do. Nobody tells an emperor what to be. They may have guides. They may have people that, you know, they talk to and ask for advice, but at the end of the day, it is their decision. They decide who they are and who they want to be. And so one of the things that you have to do is, in order to get out of this dragon's lair, you have to go within inside yourself. And it's going to be scary. You know, what's fun about going to a dragon's lair? You know, you don't know what's going to be in there. Just like you don't know what's going to be uncovered with all of the pain that's inside of you, because you've been living a surface level life for so long, just showing people what you wanted them to see, that you don't even know what you're going to discover when you go within. And that is scary. That is dangerous, but it can also be rewarding, because, you know, in a dragon's lair, why do people always go in there? Because there's a treasure inside. There's a treasure inside that they want to be able to see. And that treasure inside is the you that you are meant to be. The you that's going to attract you to the abundance that you want in your life. The you that's going to attract you to the love that you want in your life. The you that's going to attract you to the career and the path and the desires that you want, because that is the true treasure. The treasure is you, because God created you wonderfully and beautifully made and perfectly made. And the person that God created you was a person that you are before the world and constrictions and family and other people told you to be someone else. And so once you go into this hermit mode and you come out and you see the world is all about change, all about it's kind of like almost a wheel of fortune. It's like things are changing for you in life and things are coming in complete. As you can see, like this woman has all of the fishes circling around her. She has a world within her hand. So once you come out of this hermit mode and be the truest you that you are, you're going to have the world in your hands. You're going to have things flowing to you. You don't have to worry about, going after them. They're just going to flow to you because you are in your perfect state and who you are, and the things that you want, to happen are going to happen. And you don't have to worry about making a decision with force. So this Two of Swords is about making a challenging decision, right? Forcing a decision, but you don't have to, because it's in reverse, which means the opposite, which means that you are going to be able to make decisions easily. And you're going to be able to, it's not going to be hard for you. It's not going to be difficult for you. You're going to decide to choose yourself. And once you decide to choose yourself, you're going to have balance in your life. And you're going to have restoring. You see how she's still in the water. She's halfway out. She is now out of her healing phase and balancing her life. Which means that she's accepted the truest version of herself. She is now, acting in her purpose. Things are flowing to her easily. You see how it's flowing from one thing to another, and it's gold and beautiful light. That is signifying like God's light, love, and purpose for your life. And everything is just going to flow so much easier for you. And you see how, how she has the tattoos and things like that on her. I'm not saying that you have to go out and get tattoos, but, people that, have tattoos and stuff, they aren't worried about what society, will think of them, or what, like what is accepted and what isn't accepted. They're just being their truest versions of themselves. She has a jewel on her head. She has beautiful tattoos, and she's just in there flowing and loving herself. She's not focused on anybody or anything but what she is creating, the magic that she is creating in the world. And that is what you are going to be. You're going to be focused on nothing but who you want to be, yourself, what your magic you're creating, what direction that you want in your life, the healing that you want in your life, the prosperity that you want in your life. And you are going to be the controller of it. That thing, nobody else is controlling it. You see how the gold light is like around her mind? She is the one controlling the flow of the energy in her life. And so that is something that you are going to be able to do. And it's all about your desire. So all of this is going to happen when you decide it happens. You are the power and the author of change in your life. And you decide when you want this abundance. So again, the dragon's lair is not something that's scary. I mean, it is something that's scary, but it's not something that is easy to do. But when you go through that dragon's lair and you overcome your fears of going within and seeing who it is you truly are and healing those childhood wounds and becoming the ultimate you that you were supposed to be when you were born, that God created you to be, you're going to see all of these beautiful, wonderful blessings that come into your life. I thank you so much for your time. I hope that you enjoyed your reading. Please like and subscribe. And if you need a personal reading, there will be, a link in the description. And again, I love you guys. I'm so glad that you came to my channel. I hope that this helps you. And I will be continuing this series of 36912. Or whatever numbers are calling to me, but I'm starting off with that to just make sure that I help people within their lives, because one of the things that I always want to do with my life is to help people, and this is a good way that I can help the collective in getting guidance and helping them heal. All right, guys, be blessed, love and light. Bye. All right, guys, so I just did 6 and I am being led to sage. I just did 3 and I'm being led to sage before I do 6. Just kind of dispel the energy, because that was a pretty heavy reading and I want to make sure that we clear the energy before we get to 6. Reading 6. Those of you who are called to reading 6. All right. A little bit for you and a little bit for me. All right. Okay, so you can go back to the beginning of the reading when I read all 4 of the beginning cards. So this one is 10 rock bottom. So if you're called to the imagery of the card, or if you're called to number 6, then this is a reading for you. And I know that I said I was going to do the blind spot oracle deck for you guys, but I'm not being led to do that one. I'm being led to just go straight into tarot. So that's what I'm going to do, because I feel like those of you who are rock bottom or pull this number 6 know why you're there and want to know, like, okay, I'm just ready to figure out how I am getting out. You don't see, you see the truth of things as to how they are. But I am being led to get the fairy tale deck for you guys. So I'm going to do the fairy tale deck and the mermaid tarot deck. So we're going to go through the tarot deck, mermaid tarot first, which is this one. And then we are going to go ahead and get that fairy tale deck over there, because that's what's being led. And then, archetypes once calling to me too. So we're going to look at the archetype for you. Okay, so let's start with tarot deck. So rock bottoms, like, I already am aware of how I got here. Tell me how I'm getting out. So let's do that. Let's pull that one. Bottom of the deck, the magician. Oh, it wants one more. So let's pull that one first. And then what's the one more you want? Okay, this one. All right, 10 of cups. Okay, and now we got a new bottom of the deck, page of cups. All right, so let's go ahead and get these cards up. We have 5 of wands reversed. We have judgment. We have 7 of cups. I'm gonna put 10 of cups right here. I'm going to get our other ones. Let's see, push these back just a little bit so we can get all of them in there. Again, this is for 6. We got the Lovers, Ace of Swords, Star, in case you can't see them because they're out of view, Ace of Pentacles reversed, and Magician. All right, and I hope you guys can see all of these. Turn it just a little so you can. All right, I think that's good. Yeah, hopefully. Let's see. All right. Okay, guys. Oh, sorry. Let's straighten that up. Sorry, guys. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Turn these lights back on. Oh, that must be significant. Turn the lights back on. Okay. So you can get out of that bottomless pit. Get that light on, right? Or shine a light in your mind. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get started. So, the Five of Wands is a fight, but reversed, or fight, or like contention, or just like discord. But Five of Wands reversed is letting me know that whatever this fight was, or whatever it was, is over with. And I'm feeling like it's a fight within your mind. Like you are just over it. Over whatever this is that got you into this situation. You don't want to fight anymore. You're like, don't even care anymore. You're just done with it. You know, you're ready for, you know, whatever. If you feel like you were in the wrong, you're ready to face your judgment for that so that you can heal and move forward. You're ready for, you know, the person that you feel like caused this. You know, you're ready for them to face their judgment. You're just ready to face the, what they say, face the music and move forward. Because that's your greatest desire. Like, you see how Seven of Cups right after your desire is that you realize that you were wrong in a situation. Perhaps the other person was wrong in a situation. That you got yourself into it because you were desiring something that perhaps you shouldn't have been desiring. And you got it and you realize that, hey, you know, it wasn't all it was cooked up to be. It could be that you had desired a relationship that you really knew wasn't for you, or knew that, you know, you got it, like took it from someone else, you know, or you could have desired a job or position that you knew really wasn't for you, or desired, you know, a home that really wasn't for you, or desired circumstances that really wasn't for you. It could be a lot of things, but basically that you knew that you were in the wrong and you believe that you caused this upon yourself, and you have no disillusions about that. You know that, hey, I did it, you know, I was wrong, let's get my punishment, I'm ready to get over it. Just like, you know, if you were a kid, you know, that, oh, I did something bad and I know I'm going to be punished by my parent when I get home. And, you know, you don't want that punishment, but you're ready to get it over with so you can be forgiven and move forward and, you know, have better things in your life. So that's where the point that you're at right now, at the rock bottom, you know, and you feel like you deserve what you have gotten. But, you know, and you're ready to face your judgment and be healed and forgiven. And so that's your greatest desire. And you hit rock bottom because of, you know, whatever it is that you have now that you probably lost recently, which is why you are at rock bottom. You never were supposed to have in the first place. And I'm really leaning on this is something that maybe a relationship or a thing that you gotten ill-gotten gains. I hope that, you know, I'm not wrong about it, but I don't believe that I am. But it's basically something that you got that you knew wasn't for you. And I really feel like it had to do with something that you loved or desired over what was the right thing to do, or, you know, that you, it was a partner. It could have been that, you know, you may have gotten a package and you said, you know, you didn't receive it, right? And you got the money back, but you got to keep the package, and you knew you was wrong, and now you're receiving your karma because of it. Or, you know, you mess with a person that was, you know, had a relationship already, that maybe they were married, or maybe they had a girlfriend or a boyfriend already, and you said, well, I really want this person, so, you know, I'm going to have them anyway, and you got it. And that's when you know, everything started going wrong for you in life, because, you know, there is karma. To be, you know, there is an even exchange of things, and, you know, it must be repaid. Like if you know, commit something against someone else, it will fall back into your life in some way, shape, or form. And you know that, which is why you're not, you know, upset about it, but you just, you know, ready to, you know, move forward in your situation. This situation you caused upon yourself, and your hope is that, you know, that you will be blessed and be able to move forward. So, you know, if you look at it here, like, so Five of Wands, you know, you're kind of over the whole situation of whatever got you here. You know, you're not even trying to fight anymore. Five of Wands, you see if it's upwards, they're trying to fight off whatever this is. Fighting it off. I don't want it. I'm going to defend myself. But you know that at this point, you're defenseless. You did it. You was wrong. And you're ready to just like, you know, I'm ready to move forward. judgment. It's like you're calling down upon your own judgment. And even if you didn't mean to, your soul called upon your own judgment, because deep down, you really are a good person. Like your soul, you're a good person, which is why you knew you was wrong and you was ready to face your judgment. You see how they're trumpet and they're calling down this judgment upon themselves? Your soul called down the judgment because it wanted to right your karma and get you back on the right path. So, again, you called this upon yourself. You just ready to get out of it. Your desire, you desired this judgment. You desired this judgment because you knew that it was blocking your future abundance. You knew that you was not going to be able to move forward. You knew that you was not going to be able to look yourself in the mirror and feel good about yourself and be able to attract the abundance and the things that you want in your life, and the love and togetherness and the prosperity that you really deserve, the relationship that you really deserve, the family that you truly deserve, the job, the home, et cetera, that you truly deserve. If you had not, gotten this judgment by hitting this rock bottom. And you knew you had to hit this rock bottom before you were able to get back into the path and alignment to the things that you truly wanted and desired for your life. And again, it's reinforcing it again with this Ace of Swords. It was because of your actions, right? Your actions called this upon yourself. And so now, your actions can also get you out of it. So what I would say is to, pray, fast, ask for forgiveness, whether that forgiveness is to the creator, ask for that forgiveness is to a person, if you, got something ill-gotten, try to replace that, even if, you can't, just like, perhaps like maybe give away to charity, or, do something, call a company back, say, hey, actually I really did receive that package, what can be done about it, so that way you can clear yourself of this karmic debt and move forward. Because until you do clear yourself of this debt, you see how this Ace of Pentacles is reversed, your blessings are going to be blocked until you clear yourself of this karmic debt. So please do that. Whatever you did wrong, let it go so you can get out of this rock bottom, because it's clearly not worth your blessings. And your soul called this down upon to you because your soul really wants to get right and do the right thing. And the Magician is someone who is the author of their own creation, the author of their own universe, the author of their own reality. So you are a very powerful being, whoever it is that this is card, which is why God's not going to let you get away with anything. Like, you are such a powerful being that your karmic debts are like, your karmic blessings come right away or very quickly, and your karmic debts are repaid right away or very quickly. So you definitely want to make sure that, from now on, you're on the up and up and choose to do the right things, not because you don't want your karmic, to receive your karma, but because you truly want to do the right things. And it's like they want you to come back like as a little child, you are still worthy of love. The Page of Cups is the beginning of, the cups. The cups of love are like, about emotions and things like that. And the Page of Cups, they may not have all of that, faith in it. They may not be the King of Cups, the Ace of Cups, or like, the Queen of Cups, who really much know about it. But you see how he has his goldfish. His goldfish is just leaping out. That means your blessings are ready to leap back out and come to you, if you come to them like a little child, knowing that you wish for forgiveness, that you come with humility, that you grace, that you know that you are still learning and that you are worthy of grace and need and learning and want to be taught. So that way you can get out of this tower moment that you are currently seeing yourself in and get back within the love and grace of God. And then you'll be able to once again command your life. And then you see how the Ten of Swords right here is reversed. So you'll be able to get these, proverbial knives out of your back and heal and move forward, because it's reversed, letting me know that you're going to be able to get out of this energy, and you're going to be able to get out of this energy of the Five of Swords as well. And it's about you choosing to become, choosing to have a different choice or a new beginning. So I'm just letting you know that right now. And so because it asked me to pull from those other decks from you, I'm going to go ahead and get the Fairy Tale, because the Fairy Tale deck is going to, teach you a lesson about what it is that you need to learn. So give me 1 second so I can grab that deck for you. Messages from the light All right, I actually grabbed a couple for you guys, so let's put that back up there. All right, hope you guys can still see it. So, messages from the light, because I actually feel like some of y'all are like kind of cracking up or having like a half smile because you're like, you know what, you're right, spirit, you're right. Like, I feel like you guys are one of those people that talk to God like on a daily, whether you're in the wrong or the right. And like, you even have like kind of a jovial relationship with God. Like, you talk to God like they're your best friend. Like, you know, God, you know what, I'm sorry, you know, I was wrong. I just really wanted this thing and please forgive me, right? And so this is a message of light that's coming from you. This is the first time I've ever used this deck, so I'm going to go ahead and see what it's about. So basically, bliss, right? Like I said, you know, let's look and see what bliss is. But bliss, like, they just look so happy and so carefree because it's like you even feel like there's so much been lifted from you right now because you know how you got in the situation and you know that God still loves you enough to get you out of it. Like, I feel like God's like your homie or whatever. Dream work, okay? And then we're also going to do, is it this one? Okay. Integrity, okay? So let's look at these three cards. We're going to do a fourth to round it out. Passion, all right. So let's see what these are about because, like, again, oh yeah, look at the bottom, power source. I have never used these cards before. So let's look them up. We got passion, bliss, which was our first card. We got dream work and biggest integrity, which I think is like full circle because like we were just talking about integrity. And you have that, which is why you would not have called this judgment upon yourself, you know, had you not had integrity. So, and I'm going to show you the three on the bottom. So creation, power source, and protection. So you are protected by the ultimate power source, which is the creator. So I'm going to let you know that right now. Okay. And then also with the transmission, they're waiting for you to change and surrender to the person that you really are. And again, another change card right there. And then they know, like, they're giving you grace because they know you're on a journey, right? And you're contemplating this change. And you know what you did was wrong. Okay, so let's just move forward with that. I like you guys. Like, even though you did something pretty shitty, you guys are awesome, whoever is on this one. Like, okay, so let's go ahead and look at what these cards say. All right, so passion. Oh, they're alphabetical, good, so I can find them easily. Actually, we're gonna start with bliss because that was your first card. So bliss is, all things in creation are wondrous when seen in the light. Look for simple gifts, look for tiny signs. The smallest joys can bestow the universe. We revel in the dance, okay? Passion, let's look into that. The sacred flame of desire cannot be extinguished, but it can be guided by careful intent to what is true, pure, and of lasting importance. So, you know, stay in your happy, beautiful energy that you guys are, because when you are outside of that energy, your spirit's going to be like, nope, get them together right now, because we're not even playing that with them, right? So yes, I know you guys got great passion, which is why God loves you so much, but you need to be able to channel that passion and be patient and be ready for what is yours, because I guarantee you what is truly for you is way better than anything that you could have forced a result on, okay? So dream work, we're going to look at that. Pay close attention to your dreams and revere, especially those times right before sleep or awakening. These are times of active assistance from the unseen beings you are seeking to communicate with you. So just trust and believe what's yours is going to come for you. It's going to come to you. And, you know, in the times when you're sleeping and when you're awake, or just, you know, when you're alone in your own thoughts, like, try to be distracted free for just a little bit. Even if you got to shut off all the electronics, close your eyes, and just talk to God. Just like ask questions, you know, to God, you know, in your silence, and you'll be surprised by the answers that you see. You know, the life that you are wanting, you don't have to force it. It's going to come to you. It's going to come to you when you are acting within your truest you, which is a great person, because I can feel it, okay? And integrity. Integrity is something your soul is very important to you. That's why it's going to call you on your, excuse my French, bullshit every time that you are acting out of order. Because, you know, your soul don't play that, okay? Integrity. To move in a world with integrity, one must first integrate all the inner being. The head must bow to the heart, and the heart must buoy to the head, okay? So you guys know what to do is right. Don't do this anymore. This is so beneath you. You are way better than this, and you know it. So get it together, okay? That's what Spirit says, all right? So, Snow Queen was at the bottom, so I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I'm going to call it the shuffle. So I'm going to get one. This is going to be it. I don't think I'm going to go into archetype for you guys. But I am going to do the fairy tale to see what story it is. So what story is it that they need to hear to help them to sink this message in about, you know, what it is that they need to do to change. Oh, I think this one right here. This one's calling to me. Okay, the Snow White and the Red Rose, Sister Love. So let's look that up. Look how beautiful this card is. Oh my gosh, right? Okay, so as you can see, you see it in the imagery. We got this beautiful little girl with the pale hair, beautiful little girl with the red hair, and the birds that they're feeding. I see a cardinal. I don't know what that other bird is. It looks like they're feeding them some cherries. So let's see what this story is and what it is to mean for you. All right, and I want to make sure you guys can see that good. All right, and I'm going to read it. Fairy tale 26. Okay, Snow White and the Rose Red. The two children were so fond of one another that they always held each other by the hand. And when they went out together, and when Snow White said, "We will not leave each other," Rose Red answered, "Never so long as we live." And the mother would add, "What one has, she must share with the other." They often ran about the forest alone and gathered red berries, and no beast did them any harm but came close to them trustfully. The little hare would eat a cabbage leaf out of their hands, the roe grazed by their side, the stag leapt merrily by them, and the birds sat still upon the boughs and sang whatever they knew. No mishap overtook them if they had stayed too late in the forest, and night came on. They laid themselves down near another upon the moss and slept until early morning came, and their mother knew this and did not worry on their account. The beautiful tale is about sisterhood and family, and the love and trust that people have who have been raised well and nurtured tenderly can give. It is a testament to nature and to the trust that the sisters have between them. They are at home within nature. They are protected by nature's spirit. An angel stops them from falling over a precipice, and they have so much simple good fortune that they often even take Bear one cold dark night. They let him warm himself by the fire, and in time this bear becomes their friend. Of course, as the way with fairy tales, the bear is not a bear but an enchanted prince, and their trust and love for him is rewarded in the friendship he returns. For the reward is not just that their love breaks a curse, as his bear skin falls away and he shows himself to be a prince. There is, of course, marriage and a happily ever after. It is their family circle of love and trust creates friendship, joy, warmth, and protection for all who enter it. Their family, which can be quite bitter, for they are not rich, is small, close, and full of love. They have been taught to share everything, and they do so, and in that sharing, greater goodness can be created. Thus, when this card comes to you, know that it is time to do good turns, to appreciate the small fortunes that you have, to count your blessings, and to know that whatever blessings you have, it can expand and grow richer, deeper, and more lasting when we place our attention upon the blessing. The sisters and the loving mother and their tiny cottage are beloved because of the energy they bring to everything. They are loving, therefore they are loved. So know that at this time it is important to appreciate what you have been gifted, the love and friendships of family who have been good to you, and find every gem in the dirt, every star in the darkness. Make this your habit, and the rewards will be peace, joy, and contentment. From these three things, so many more blessings can flow. The other aspect is that the sisters are dark and light, both good, both one quick but one quick and vivacious, and the other one shy. Yet they share everything. One marries the bear prince, and the other his brother, and love each other deeply. So too with us. We must marry within us the dark and our light, not rejecting either, and by sharing both aspects of the self with the world in tender, honest, and vulnerable ways, we become strong and abundance flows to us. We may appear to frighten others. It will be for you an opportunity to do good. Your generosity, your lack of fear, and your solid bonds with loved ones will give you all the strength you need and all the blessings you could have wished for. Family bonds, sisterly love, sharing when you have little, reward for good deeds, sharing what you have creates abundance, sibling loyalty and love, extending hospitality and generosity, seeing behind appearances, and a reward for your good true heart. So, you may not have everything in your life that you want and desire, but trust and believe that your good heart, acting with good intentions, being grateful for what it is that you have, is going to lead you to everything that it is that you want in life. And I see these two sisters as your higher self and your lower self, right? And not necessarily that one is lower than the other. I mean your soul and your physicality, right? Your soul is loving and trying to guide you to do the right things. And together, the light and the dark sides of you, or the yin and the yang of you, it is needed and it is necessary. And the love of both of them is what's going to bring you the joy and love that you need in life. And just be grateful for the things that you have. Like, you don't have to take what isn't yours. You don't have to desire what isn't yours, because God has so much more in store for you. Like, you could be, taking, someone else's man when God's got a prince and it works for you, or a king and it works for you. Or you could be like desiring somebody else's house when God's got a mansion for you, right? Desiring somebody else's car, or desiring somebody else's job when there's something way better waiting for you if you only act in truth and love and be grateful for what you have. So I'm telling you guys, I don't need to tell you much. You already got together. This is a sign that you was asking God for. It's time for your forgiveness. It's time for your abundance. Let go of the shame and the guilt, and just do better and move forward and do good from now on. You guys be blessed, be safe. I love you guys. Thank you so much, for coming to my channel. I appreciate it. If you need a reading, there's a link in the description. Please please subscribe. There's definitely more coming. I'm so looking forward to doing this journey with you guys. And you got this. Get yourselves together, all right? Because y'all know better than this. Be blessed. Bye. Alright guys, so this reading is for those who have chose or were led to the spark card, or number 9. And the fact that I had to try that a few times let me know that, your spark is like trying to start up like a lighter like this, like flickering out, but you're going to get that spark together, okay? So I'm going to cleanse the energy from the other reading that I just did for number 6. And we are going to go ahead and get started with you guys. And I'm feeling like those who had chose the spark card were kind of leaning towards some of the other cards. So if you feel like, you were leaning to both, then definitely check out both, or one or more of the other cards. All right, guys. All right, cleansing for you and cleansing for me. And I'm seeing like I need to cut the energy here, and also of my decks that I used. Don't know. And for you guys, I am being led to start with the archetype deck. And I've only ever used this deck one other time before, so we're gonna go ahead and see why Spirit's calling for the archetype deck for you guys. Now I did so many, I think I'm gonna refresh myself on what Spark meant, because the other readings were much longer than I thought they were, but I gotta get the message out. And so I'm gonna refresh myself real quick on what Spark was, so I can talk to you guys about it. What deck was that from? Oh yes, the journal cards, the 34. I'm just gonna read it over for myself real quick, and maybe you guys need to hear it again because usually I've been remembering stuff like that. Spark. You are the clear channel for divine creativity. There is a spark of creativity in you that you have every reason to move forward with optimism and hope. Open yourself to inspiration and allow life to show you its beauty and part in co-creating it. This is the perfect time to give birth to an idea, start a new relationship or job, or begin any endeavor. Attraction is high as you connect with others who can co-create joyous experiences and join with you in expressing the finer aspects of life. Watching a spark turn into a flame and stoking the fire is a gratifying activity. Wow. And so it's so funny to me that you guys got 9, because 9 is when everything starts over. So you know the power of 3, 6, 9, right? 9 is the highest number in the universe because after that it repeats itself. And so letting me know that you guys got spark and 9 is definitely time for your idea to move and come into fruition. It is a perfect moment in time for you to start that wonderful idea that you have, right? And don't let anything stop you. And I know like how it was kind of hard for me to put that spark deck like card up. It's because you don't totally believe in yourself. But I'll tell you right now that you need to, because the universe is guiding you to. And actually it's so funny because I just reached out with this deck and the magician is right on top, which is letting me know that, you know, it is prime time for you to manifest your vision into reality. The universe is with you and it's going to happen. Trust me. All you have to do is trust yourself and believe, right? So we're going to go ahead and shuffle this deck, and we're going to pull 2 cards. And we're going to go over their meanings. 1. And since it's letting me to 2, I'm just going to shuffle it twice. And we're going to pull some cards. All right. Bottom card. Oh, okay. Well, it already got me 2, so let's see. It's the Tear and an Animal Mundi. Like, I don't know anything about these cards. I've only ever used them one other time. I've had them for years, but we're gonna see what they're about and discover together. Anima Mundi. And I don't know, like, if these cards are gonna lead you to it or help you overcome your fear of what it is that you are supposed to be doing, but we're gonna move forward and see. And actually, you know what? This card was left on the bottom, like it wasn't even out. And I wonder, like, does that mean that I'm supposed to use it or am I supposed to not? Because I feel like it was 2 at the bottom. The Crone. I think I'm gonna go with the Crone because I have like a feathered mask and one of the feathers fell off and I was led to put it in that sage. And so I'm going to go ahead and use this too because the Crone. Okay. And so, oh, wait, let's see. Wait, is it? Nope, that is, the card is still stuck on the bottom, whatever it was. And the Poet. Okay, we're going to use that one because it was still there. And oh my God, look at all of those birds coming from that Poet. I think you guys have a wonderful idea in mind, as maybe it's got something to do with writing. We'll see. So let's look at these and see what we got. So I'm being led to keep the Crone card, and I'm also being led to keep the Poet card. You see, like I say what I'm going to do, and then Spirit's like, nope, you're going to do this. But I guess it kind of is 2 because 4 is a multiple of 2. So let's go from there. All right, let's see what these cards mean. And we're going to start with the Animal Mundi. And yeah, like I said, I don't know what these cards mean because I barely ever use this deck. So we will be discovering together the message that it has for you. So that's LXXV3. All right. Oh, I don't like the way this deck is. Oh, it's the last one. Okay. All right. Animal. No, I don't know why I keep saying animal. Anima Mundi, the soul of the world, all that is. And this is the archetypes deck guidebook. Okay. So Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle of accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied. Embrace constructs of separation dissipate into the world of mess, of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, irrational and mythic. It is a connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. When light is tending to the sacred details of life. To embrace Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere, to anyone, day or night. Rich or poor, it is a process of unveiling or our resistance to its love. Anima Mundi is the energy behind the world card in the tarot deck. Both carry themes of universal unity, completeness, and embrace. Wow, so this is letting me know that whatever idea it is that you guys have in your genius heads is something that's meant to help the entire universe and the collective. And it is your idea is meant to be. Your idea is something that the world needs. So please, please be brave enough to go ahead and put that idea out, because nobody in the world has a unique perspective of this idea but you, and you are the only one that was created to put this idea in the world. So please be sure to do so. The tear is what we're going to read next. All right, L. The tear. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what is needed for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that our tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they tend to open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we're reminded that their internal embrace, we sense our humanity and our humility as we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely this card of prayers when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that once acknowledged will bring you a shimmer of clarity into your dewy eyes. Oh, I understand. Like, I understand why you guys were like scared to bring about this idea. You have experienced failure before. You have experienced perhaps ridicule before. You have experienced, trying an idea before that didn't just quite work. But trust and believe that with every failure is actually an opportunity for learning and growth, and that there are no accidents in the universe. Everything that is meant to be will be, and whatever failures that you've had before are just stepping stones and a lesson of bringing you what it is that you want. And perhaps those failures were not like truly your unique idea that you really wanted to do. Maybe it's something that someone else told you would be successful, or something that was successful for someone else and you tried it. Maybe that just wasn't the idea that was for you, because trust and believe, what's meant to be will be. And if that idea or that vision was supposed to work for you, it would have. But just because something else didn't work for you doesn't mean that this one won't. So release that pain of self-doubt, release that pain of fear. Let those tears flow for the ideas of crushed dreams that didn't come to fruition, and know that those ideas and realities are not your current reality, because the universe is behind you in this whatever you're trying to push now, this idea that they're trying to birth through you. Please go forward with it. The tear is powerful, and it is possible to be submerged into waters. Find a supportive place to open up the floodgates. So let that tears out, let that pains out, let that frustration out, let those fears out, because you need to be able to cleanse in order to move forward. And you don't want any of that water, like the water coming up when you don't need it to be, to stop that flame from being stoked. Okay. Then we're also going to go into I think we read that one already. Oh, if both the tear and river appear in a reading, this indicates an excess of water element in your life. As in the Ayurvedic tradition, balance it with fire and earth. So we didn't get any river in here, but I do know that we do have the spark in here, which is a fire. right? And so what we want to do, and then the anima mundi is like encompassing all things, and that includes earth. So I would say that you already have the firm footing and the fire. You know, let those tears out, let that grief out, let that anguish go, so you can feel that pain and release it, so that way it will not flood the spark of your new idea from coming into fruition. Okay, so we're going to go to the crone next, because again, we saw that feather, and we're definitely not going to discount that. And your guys is the first reading that I felt led to include the feather that I had picked up in your reading. So we're going to go forward and, you know, see what that's about. Okay, the crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of maiden, mother, crone. In her long life, she has witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at the notions of good or bad, right or wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, taking life and giving life. Crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Her energy resides in all of us, though it is feared by most for its power in an unconventional relationship with death and the macabre. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. The crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relations and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. The crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, the smoke, the night, and the moon. When light, they are magic, clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive, and wise. So the crone is letting me know that, yeah, like I said before, you guys have been through some pain. You guys have been through some disappointment. You guys have, you know, had a proverbial seen it all, the ups and downs in life, which is why you are having this beautiful and wonderful idea, but you are kind of afraid to put it out there because, you know, you become more of a realist of life and not necessarily an optimist. And you need to have a little bit of, being a little bit of optimistic to believe that your ideas are going to work, because just because someone else's idea failed, or even a past idea of yours failed, doesn't mean that it's your current reality, right? And so I need you to have a little bit of optimism and be real as far as making sure that you're not taking unnecessary risks, but you do not have to be afraid of this idea going out into the universe, because it is meant to be. And you got 9 now. It's time for you to have this. You don't want to go through another whole cycle before you have the right prime time for an idea to come to you. Because remember, 9 is the end of a cycle, and so you don't want to have to start over again at 3. Before you have faith in yourself enough to bring this idea into fruition. Because I'm telling you right now, the magic of the universe is behind you, to bring this idea into fruition. Because look at this right here. We got the Ace of Pentacles right underneath it, and we have the Star card, and it's all waiting on the Ace of Swords, which is your action, right? So you just have to love yourself and believe in yourself, and then this idea is going to bring you your 10 of Cups, which is total fulfillment. And then 7 of Cups right after it, bringing your desires, right? And Judgment. Judgment isn't a bad thing. Judgment is a great thing. Oh, and it's picked up this card too, right? So the only person that's blocking your judgment or your blessing from you is you, right? So don't block your own blessings by, not having self-doubt and, not believing in yourself, right? So we're going to go ahead and read the Poet. I like these cards. These are cool. I didn't really, get to use them only one other time, and that was like earlier this week when I did a personal reading for a young lady. Yeah. And so it helped her kind of accept some things that she wants. So, the artist, the witness, the truth teller is the poet. The poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid. They must seek out the truth in the darkest corners of the world and carry it back for all to see. The unique capacity resides within us all, regardless of our relationship to creativity. When the poet energy is present, there is a call for deep honesty and reflection, for seeing the big picture within a little one. The poet rides effortlessly between personal and universal. It is possible that what others may not seem to listen or care about the poet's work, but do not be discouraged. The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of the despair and violence that captivate our world. The poet's work is never finished. Find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. It is likely that there is a poem or poet that was meaningful to you at a young age. Revisit that and reread it now and be open to this message. The poet is related to the shaman and the bridge. These archetypes hover in the meeting place between the everyday and the sacred. So when light, it is clairvoyant, wise, and timeless, okay? So I'm just going to let you guys know that, you, again, it's hitting the same message over and over and over again, right? All right. Your idea is meant to come into fruition. And even if it seems like, don't be discouraged, like if at first your idea is like not taking off. But whatever this idea that you have, just like a poet's words of hundreds of years ago. So you know how, and don't take this like in a discouraging way, but you know how like there'll be famous artists or painters or poets that, may not have been so famous in life, but like everybody's reading their things like hundreds of years later, like Shakespeare or Picasso, or even the words of like, people like Sojourner Truth and, I can't remember the young lady's name, but she was like, she wrote so many poems when she was enslaved, and then when she was free, she became very famous. I wish I could like remember her name right now, but I just, see her, and maybe if I like see it later, I'll like put it in the comments. But basically, like, they may not have been celebrated right away, but that, the right people that need to hear this vision in words will hear your vision in words and will see that. So like, don't be discouraged, because remember, your reward is not always sometimes in the physical, not always in monetarily, but your reward could be, in a karma, or that you're changing generations. Your reward will be in heaven, or the heaven that you make it. So don't feel discouraged if your idea doesn't take flight right away, because the right people will hear it and believe it and know it, and that it will be sacred to them, whether this spark is to start a restaurant, whether this spark is to write a book, whether this spark is to, create your own, YouTube or channel or TikTok, or whether this spark is to, go back to school and teach something new to someone else, or this spark is to, tell a friend, or a loved one something that, you've been meaning to say for years, because maybe they won't take that sound advice now, but it's going to resonate with them and change their life in so many ways later. And so what I'm being guided to do is I am going to read a little bit of the Mermaid deck to kind of give you some clarity about this idea, or kind of like pinpoint the results of this idea. So, let's look into that, right? So let's do this. So 1, 2. Oh, these are being so difficult to pick up. And then 3, like, I think that there's a lot of different like sparks of ideas out there, and maybe it's not wanting to pinpoint like a specific one, but let's kind of move these out the way just a little bit, so that way we could, put some more out if we need to. Okay, 2 of Swords. All right, so we got 2 of Cups, the World, Temperance, Knight of Wands, 3 of Swords, and 2 of Swords. Okay, so it seems like even with me telling you this message, it's like you're feeling like a lot of doubt still about this, and I really hope that nothing that I said made you feel more doubt. It's like you are in the valley of decisions about like whether or not this idea is even worth it, because I think a lot of you were hoping that, I want to get very rich off of this idea, or I want to, have this sort of abundance. But all abundance isn't in the material realm. Some abundance is, in abundance of thought, abundance of, what you've done for the greater good of the collective, abundance of a reward for karma, great karma later in another lifetime. So, I don't want you guys to feel discouraged because you think that, oh, wow, she's talking about all these people that weren't recognized, in their current life time that, you know, why even do it if it's not going to bring me any monetary value, right? Because you're like, oh, I want to be, you know, the King of Pentacles. Like, I don't want to do this and get nothing from it. Like, you feel like you already had so many failures in your other endeavors that you tried to put out. But I'm telling you right now is that sometimes when you act on behalf of not expecting that you're going to gain something out of it, but doing it just because Spirit led you to do it, you'll be surprised by the abundance that you know, receive in other ways. So this, like, you know how this, right, the waters represent spiritual and healing, right? And it's like this person is coming up from the waters. This beautiful idea is trying to be birthed. They're trying to give it to you, right? And you're giving it, feeding back into them, right? They're coming up from the waters of the deep, trying to give you this wonderful idea so that way you can pour this idea into the universe and change the world. They're trying to use you to transmute this idea from the spiritual realm to the physical realm, right? And they're giving you charge of this wonderful idea, right? And you want to do this idea, but you're like, wait a minute, if it's not going to benefit me, this is going to cause me some sort of pain because, hey, I still need to be nourished. I still need stuff for my life. I still need stuff for my family. But, you know, like, so it's like you're fighting against it. Like, you're fighting against whether or not you want to bring out this idea because you feel like if it's not going to benefit me, then what's the point? But I'm telling you right now that that type of thinking is trapping you. You need to let that go. And you need to know that, you know, you having that type of a mindset that if it's not going to benefit you, this wonderful idea, that, you know, and it's going to keep, that's what's going to keep you outside of the wealth and abundance of it, right? And right here, you really could be in the King of Pentacles energy if you would let go of your limited thinking of thinking that, you know, whatever spark of idea that you have should benefit you. If it's benefited the entire collective, trust and believe it actually is benefiting you, right? And you see, once you come into that mindset that whatever you give out to the universe is actually going to benefit you too, that is when it's going to turn around for you in your life. So please, you know, don't think like that, because that is not great thinking. It's actually a little bit selfish, and I'm sorry to call you out like that, because I know you've been through some things, you've been through pain, and you're waiting for your moment. But sometimes you got to take a little bit of, you know, a leap of faith and know that, you know, when you do something for the greater good of humanity, those blessings come back to you tenfold, okay? So, you know, please don't, you know, feel that way, right? And I'm going to go ahead and, what is it asking me to pull for you? Because I don't know, it's like, I don't really like how you guys are feeling about, you know, I'm sorry, I'm going to be real about it, about this blessing that you're supposed to bring forward, because you feel like it's not going to benefit you immediately. Like, some of you are coming around to the idea, like, you know what, you're right, I need to do what's best for the greater good of humanity. But like, some of you is like, man, I'm tired of doing what's best for everybody else. What about me, right? And so I've been led to pull out one more card for you from the Enchanted map. So I'm going to pull this one, Bone Collector. All right, it's going to help you understand like why you need to be doing this idea. So let me read that one. Bone Collector is number 1. All right, let's see. And for those of you who are like accepting, God bless you, you know, and bless also the ones that are not. But let's go ahead and read this. Bone Collector, you are whole and have everything you need within. When the Bone Collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of the past conditions and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a version of the truth that then sets us up to behave in a certain way in the future when faced with a situation similar to the original event. What we know about ourselves thus becomes an influence by perception or limitation. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable and expect to be criticized. The Bone Collector reminds you that the truth is that you're a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what is stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack. And the bone collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible, with awareness that the wounds of the past need not define you. So please, guys, like, this is letting you know, like, to be grateful in the present, and know that everything that you have is already within you, and to not operate out of a spirit of lack. And when you believe that you have everything that you have already, and when you act in the spirit of gratitude, more comes to you. And if you believe that you do not have more lack, then you will not have lack, and you will have everything that you need, you know. Everybody is not meant to be rich, right? Everybody is not meant to be famous. If we're all rich and famous, then none of us will be, right? So the thing of the matter is that sometimes the blessing is in contentment, because we know a whole lot of rich people who are very unhappy, a whole lot of rich people that killing themselves, that drinking themselves to death, drugging themselves to death, sexing themselves to death. So riches isn't all what it's cracked up to be, but we know a whole lot of people are happy and content with what it is that they have. They have a beautiful family, you know, they have a comfortable job, comfortable living. So just bless and thank God for the things that you have. Continue to act in light and love in the universe, and continue to do the things that God leads you to do, because your blessings are very, very good, and your blessings are everything that you need. And I promise you that God is gonna give you everything that you need, you know, all in within dual seasons. And it's leading me to go get this deck, the Season of the Witch Oracle. So let me go grab that, because it's feeling like we need to drive this message home, give you guys one more thing to just see, okay? And I feel like a bunch more of you just changed your minds about how you feel about it. So I'm very grateful for you, and I got a couple more of you guys in there that need a little bit more convincing. So let me go grab this deck. Trust me, guys, you are blessed. You are abundant, and you are worthy. And this idea is worthy of coming out to the universe, and just watch how God will work for you in your life, okay? Be blessed, be grateful, be content. All right? Okay, so let us get this, the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle, all right? And then I might do this one too, because this one called to me Soul Journey. And we are going to, because your reading's getting a little lengthy, so we're going to just try our best to make this quick, but it's not up to me, it is up to Spirit. This one. All right, Tranquility. Let's read it. It says, in thy womb is blissful quieting, and the calming stillness lives the world spellbound to silence. All right, so let's read this one and see what it means. Tranquility. To be at peace means to have inner harmony despite what is happening around you. Imagine how much easier Christmas shopping and holiday preparation would be if nothing ruffled your feathers. The same goes for life. You cannot change other people or external factors, but you can control how you respond to them. Inner peace is created through acceptance of what is beyond your control. What is the purpose of worry if it cannot contribute to a change in your situation? You have pulled the Tranquility card because you have been asked about what you have asked about is beyond your control. It may seem ominous, but the fear is often much worse than the thing itself. Excessive worrying will only cause you more pain and could lead to self-fulfilling prophecies. You're being guided to release stress and seek peace. Reach out for help if you feel like you need it. This is not something you can manage independently. Having another perspective could help you ease the stress. So I can see that you guys are worried about money and finances, and you were really looking for this reading and so hopeful that this spark of creativity would eliminate those. And maybe the lesson here for you guys isn't about, you know, some idea making you, you know, super rich, but maybe it's the fact of that, you know, this idea needs to come out to the world, but you have to first be happy and thankful for what you have to be able to receive and attract more in life. So I want you guys to kind of sit with that message. May not have been like what you wanted to hear, but please know and understand that God does want to bless you. He's not going to leave you without, just you have to believe and you know, start doing some affirmations about letting go of the spirit of lack, and you know, and asking God to help you be more grateful for the things you have and be able to do more with the resources that you have, and blessed that they'll be able to give you more. But I'm going to go ahead and close out this reading. I hope that, you know, you guys were encouraged from this and not discouraged, because that's the last thing that I would want you to be, and I feel like some of you kind of are, but please don't be. And then I'm going to say these two, but I'm not going to read them because I'll just call you. Mother Mary, into the arms of a motherly embrace, swells of wisdom full of grace. In thy bosom where she whispers, sleep of the winter. So God is comforting you and restoring you and letting you know that, you know, they are there for you and that they will not leave the righteous begging for bread, okay? An offering is I give to you my heart's intent wrapped in gratitude and thankfulness, devotion in exchange for your presence. Here I am gifting my essence. So, you know, it's asking you once again to be grateful and thankful for what you have, and that your devotion to doing what God asked you to do, which is to bring this gift into the universe, they will also give you their essence, which is their life, okay? All right, love you guys. Please like and subscribe. I hope that you guys return to my channel, and I do offer personal readings. The link will be in the description. Be blessed and be safe, and remember that, you know, sometimes things have to be done for the greater good and not with any expectation. Be grateful for what you have and know that God is blessing you, will keep you, and that you have everything that you need. All right, bye guys. All right, guys, we are on our last but not least reading 12. And as I'm starting this, I am already feeling like my tongue is so tired. And it's so funny because 369 is like the ending of a reality, and then you start over again at 3, and 1 plus 2 is 3, right? And I also find it funny. So it's like the universe have already then told you to start this field of dreams, but it's like you're like delaying it. That's what I feel like, and the universe is like, I'm not saying the universe is tired of you, but they're like, okay, like, you gonna get this to work, or do we have to get this to somebody else, this idea, right? And then I like the fact that, you know, 12 and 21 are the inverse of each other. So we're gonna also look at this just 3-3. So it's like giving you a chance to begin again, but they want you to get this idea or whatever this spark off of the ground and get it started, right? 3-3, get it together, okay? All right, so I'm getting guided to talk about you first with the messages of light. So it's a meditation deck. Today is the first time I use it. I used it with one of the earlier groups. So it looks like it has some messages for you, because this is like, this is what it looks like. This is like what it was guided to, for me to go to you first. And I'm a little like peeved because I kind of burnt my tree a little bit on my tablecloth lighting the sage, but you know, what's meant to be will be, and maybe I just need to get a replacement one. But the tree is still good, you know, and look how like the tree is just kind of flowing and growing into your ideas, and like even the placement of like the crystals and the card and the eggs, it's like it's growing and it's sprouting and it's ready to go. So let's go ahead and light the sage. And actually, you know what? I'm not feeling like lighting the sage to this one. I don't know why, but I'm going to go ahead and wave our little selenite wand around this, around me, and around you. All right. Okay, let's see what the number 12 is inspiration for you. So either you were drawn to this card, the Field of Dreams, or if you were drawn to the number 12. All right, and again, like this is really significant and powerful to me because these numbers are the inverse of each other. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. King just going around trying to get comfortable, my good boy. All right, now this one's just peeking out at me, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one. Letting go, okay? Maybe letting go of the result, this one also. Mindfulness, okay? And we're gonna pull this one. Celebrate, okay? All right, oh, you wanna do one more? 4, 5. Oh, and one more peeking out at me, 6. So it's like, it's not about what I want, it's about what Spirit says. So we're gonna go with that, okay? All right, so connection, curiosity, and possibilities. All right, let's look these up. Spirit has a lot to say to you. All right, so let's get connection up there. Oh, that's interesting. It's like your connection is kind of blocked a little bit. It's trying not to get there, but we're gonna get up there anyway, because you know we're gonna get this idea out. Celebrate, mindfulness, letting go. And I'm gonna start with letting go because that was your first card. Curiosity. And curiosity to the possibilities, right? Okay. All right, where is my little guidebook for this one? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, here it is. What's hidden underneath some things? That might be also something. Okay, so your field of dreams is probably needing a little tilling, a little moving away some of those dead leaves, so that way you can go ahead and uncover that wonderful, beautiful idea that universe is ready for you to bring forward. It may be that you're contemplating bringing in a new life. It may be that you're contemplating bringing in, you know, a new position, a new career, a new entrepreneurial activity, a new, you know, course of action, a new things that you're trying to study. But whatever it is, universe is guiding you to do it. And it's also like it's almost giving you another chance and a nudge, because this is a dream deferred, I believe, like something that you always wanted to do, but it was in the back of your mind, just never had and found the time to do it. But now Spirit is encouraging you to get it done. So we're going to start with, I wanted to start with letting go, but I'm going to start with connection because this is the way I place them. So let's start with that. Connection. In endless net of light without and within, reach out across vast spaces through layered dimensions. Connection is realized again. So it's making me feel like it's connecting you to that original thought, that dream deferred, and letting you know that it is okay to go ahead and start again. And it's not too late. You know, it's definitely not too late. People, you know, like I've read a story not too long ago of this woman that was in her 80s and went back to Harvard to get her doctor's degree. You know, because she wanted to be a doctor. She always wanted to be a doctor. And who would have thought that in your 80s that you can go back to school and do that? But she did that, you know. You know, that was her dream deferred, and she got it done, you know. Celebrate. The more we celebrate what we have, the more will come our way. Your life itself is a cause for celebration. Through you, Spirit is made manifest. The heavens rejoice with you, right? And so the way I'm looking at that, and with the field of dreams, it's like that she's playing this trumpet and she had those angel wings and stuff behind her, and it's like whatever it is that is coming from her soul and mind is making all of this beautiful aura and a rainbow around her, and it's definitely a cause for celebration, right? Mindfulness, because maybe you need to go within to kind of like bring out that idea into fruition, right? So we're going to go to mindfulness. Hakani Mudra, remain focused and alert to details, alertness and contingencies. Resolution is at hand. So perhaps like this beautiful idea in this field of dreams, something that you've been growing for a while and maybe needs a little tending to that garden and a little watering to be able to develop. You know, maybe it is that you need to, you know, remain focused on that and continue to develop that idea so that way it can come into fruition, because it is something that very much needed. And perhaps this idea is the salt will solve all of the current issues that you are facing, right? And you need to like let go of the result, right? Letting go of the result of whatever this the ideas action will become. You know, don't worry about if it's going to be successful. Don't worry about if, you know, people will gravitate to it, because the right people will, and what's meant to be will be, you know. Whatever it is that you are supposed to do with this, as long as you concentrate and continue to grow and develop it, it's going to happen. Just let go of the process and enjoy, you know, let go of the result and enjoy the process, right? So we're going to go ahead and read Letting Go. Everything we hold most dearly must eventually be released to make room for the new. Change is growth, and love expands when unbound. So, you know, let go of, like I said, the result. Let go of how you feel like it should go, and just let it be, you know? And it's going to turn out beautifully, more beautifully than you could have imagined when you control it, right? We don't control the way a flower grows. We just let it blossom and bloom, you know? And every flower will bloom and blossom in its own time. And it's going to be beautiful and at the perfect moment. So let go of the result. Just do the actions, okay? And it's going to open up to the realm of all of these beautiful, wonderful possibilities. You see, every color in the rainbow is expanded when she's opening up her hands. You see how she's not holding on to anything. She's just letting go. She's opening up to all of the possibilities of what could be. She's not holding on to anything. Her eyes are closed. Her head is raised. She is just letting go and trusting the process. And that's what you need to do, you know, in order to bring this beautiful, you know, idea into fruition. So let's read possibilities. Do not despair. Remember that possibilities are infinite. Even if your particular goal seems unreachable, there may be something better in store, which you have yet to dream. I really feel strongly with this reading that somebody has been wanting to have a baby, and they've been feeling like the finances weren't right, the time wasn't right, perhaps the partner wasn't right, but this little baby is wanting to come into the universe. And this is a special little baby that's meant to do wonderful and beautiful things. And, you know, life isn't about planning all the time. Sometimes life is just about doing. So whatever it is that you need to do to bring this little one into the universe, go ahead and do it. And don't worry about, you know, what people may have said about fertility, or may have said about age, or may have said this needs to be perfect, because there are plenty of children born into an imperfect situation that turn out very beautifully, right? And if you have such a perfectionist nature that you're waiting on a perfect moment to bring this child into the world, it's not going to happen. So just let it be, all right? It doesn't have to be terrific Tuesdays for it to happen. I don't know, I'm talking to somebody out here. Or terrible Tuesdays if you're not having like the most wonderful time with your partner. Just let it happen, all right? Curiosity. I don't know. Somebody, Lisa. I don't know why Lisa is the first. Like, I don't know. Lisa or Linda. Somebody. I'm talking to you. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. For curiosity, and I'm needing to pull one more card. Gratitude. Be thankful. Okay. Because this idea and this beautiful thing is coming into mind. So we're going to do curiosity. And then we're going to do gratitude, because it was left for me to pull this card, so I'm just going to read it. Curiosity. And for some of you, that is more of like a business idea, or like a dream deferred, like school or whatnot. I see that in here too, so don't think it's just, oh, well, I'm not having a baby or trying to have a baby. No, this message is for you too. I don't know why. I just was led to say that particularly. And if your name isn't Lisa or Linda, but you're trying to have a baby, this message is for you. I don't know why, but that name came to mind, so I just said it. All right, curiosity. The same thing that eludes us all links us all. Curiosity leads to understanding. Follow your interests. Find common ground with people of all backgrounds. So don't let, you know, the fact that someone is different from you, or has different ideas from you, or different beliefs than you, stop you from finding out about that person, or exploring that culture, exploring that idea, because it may help you bring into fruition your own field of dreams idea, or thing that you're kind of accomplished by listening to the diverse thoughts and perspective of others is always a plus, okay? And we're going to look at gratitude. And for this reading, I feel like it's going to be shorter than the other ones, because God is already like, you know, hey, we already told you what to do. You already had all the signs. We already gave you all of the know-hows, all of the tools. We just waiting for you to be brave enough to get it done, okay? Gratitude, that anything at all exists, is a miracle. Be thankful for each breath, each sensation, and gratitude is the first step toward, not the consequence of receiving. So I want you guys to go out there and be thankful and grateful and feel as if that this idea or this beautiful thought or this beautiful career or this beautiful new thing that you're going to learn or do is already there, and you already know it. Just feel that blessing and know that blessing and claim that blessing, and it's all going to come to you. Whether it is that you feel and prepare for that beautiful new baby, or you feel and prepare for that beautiful new career, or you feel and prepare for that beautiful new book or idea or vision or invention to come to fruition that you know God has been telling you to do. Get it done and feel that you're already going to live in that moment and feeling as if you already have it, because that's going to bring about that result even faster. And I see a lot of you with these beautiful and wonderful ideas that are just waiting to be birthed, right? And maybe that's why I am thinking of a baby so much, is because these ideas are ready to be birthed. These ideas are like, they were ready. They about to breach, right, y'all? They're about to come out whether you want it or not. And if it don't come through your vessel, this idea and beautiful thing is so important. It's going to come through somebody else. So you better make sure that you take hold of this blessing, because God is offering it to you again. This dream deferred is ready for you again. God is giving you another opportunity and chance to get this out there, okay? And I'm feeling like that I want to do one blind spot oracle guide card for you guys, because to see what is blocking you from this beautiful idea coming out. And maybe two cards, because I'm feeling like I'm getting two, but I'm going to shuffle it just in case. I want to make sure it's no energy from anybody else's reading on you guys. All right, so let's pull this one. 1, 11, 2, 3. All right, so, 4. Okay. So I'm going to go over these cards. I may not read the whole thing, is because these are a little lengthy, and God's telling me that I want this one to be a little shorter. So I am going to go over an overview of these blind spot oracle cards. And these blind spot oracle cards can be jarring because they're designed to let you see what you do not see, so that you can be waked up to the reality to change. And we all know change is uncomfortable, or everybody would do it. Right? 64 and 11, which is most important because 11 stood out to me the most, and it was your first card. So I'm going to read that one, and I'm going to actually place 11 in the front. We're going to read 11 first. And again, these are the blind spot oracle cards. If you are interested in this deck, I bought it a long time ago on Amazon, so I don't know if they still sell it, and it was not cheap. Oops, it's backwards, which is funny to me because, you know, backwards is even harder to read and distinguish. So this might be a tough pill for you guys to swallow, but you're gonna have to swallow it so you can get better. All right, blind spot oracle. So let us read. And where is my, here it is, 11 first. Then I might just do an overview of the others. 11, free will. If you have drawn this sigil, what you are currently not seeing is that you are out of touch with your free will. This means in your life in general, the situation at hand, you need to take responsibility in some way and take actions as a result of that responsibility in order to feel free and empowered. Freedom is a sense of being able to think, speak, or act according to what we want without hindrance or restraint. Freedom is something that all people value, and it is something that all people need to a certain extent. It is also a guarantee that because we live on a planet with other people, we will experience the loss of freedom at certain points in our life. Free will is essentially a free choice. No matter how much freedom we seem to lack in a situation, we always have it because we always have a choice. Even that choice is not a choice we want to make. Even if we are choosing between two things, both of which we do not want. Now is the time to get back in touch with that freedom inherent in whatever choice whatever choice you do have and can make. Responsibility is an opportunity to act independently because you are the one that has a duty to deal with something autonomously. This makes you the one who is accountable. Responsibility is also required to achieve an aim. Not taking responsibility is like standing at the end of the bowling alley, hoping someone else will throw the bowling ball for you so that you don't have to be accountable for the result of doing it yourself. This means that you will fail in every aspect of your life. You will be incapable of following through to achieve something. Responsibility comes with a certain kind of pressure. We could consider that pressure the price of free will and autonomy. The pressure is only worth it to people if they can see that they are getting something positive out of taking on that pressure. Some of the things a person could get as a result of taking on that pressure, for example, are authority, self-esteem, and sense of personal accomplishment, control, and rather ironically, freedom. Free will has as much to do with what you make as you, an individual, feel good as what is right for you specifically. And if you have drawn this sigil, you may have trouble chronologically in your life with desire. When we are young, we have no problem following our feelings and thus intrinsic motivation to the end of the earth. But when someone our survival depends on makes that selfish or otherwise wrong, or makes it too hard for us to achieve what we desire with our free will, we suppress those emotions as well as motivation. Basically, the person struggles chronically with desire and free will and has learned it's not safe to want. Pretty soon, they have no motivation to speak of. They don't know what they want. They become apathetic. If you peel back apathy and look at the root emotion that is actually there, the root vibration that causes apathy is despair, the complete loss of absence of hope. This is sheer powerlessness and the ultimate form of discouragement. But this perception of powerlessness is not accurate. It is the residual perception that you adopted from childhood experience. You are the young elephant who was tied to a tree that it could not move. But you are now that elephant that grew into an adult that is fully capable of uprooting that tree that you were tied to. But you cannot do it because you still believe that you cannot. If you have drawn the sigil, change is not in the hands of anyone else in this situation. You can't wait for them to do something to get you where you want to be. You need to make the choices. No matter how difficult, you become aware of your free will again. It is your life. You came here to live it. You can be free. But freedom comes with great responsibility and difficult choices. So it's letting me know that you are afraid to bring this idea because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can do it. But I'm telling you right now that you can. And nobody is going to do this for you. Nobody is going to be determinant of whether you fail or succeed but you. So if this dream doesn't come into fruition, you have nobody to blame but yourself, because you didn't believe in yourself enough to do it. And if you don't believe in yourself enough to do it, ask God to give you the strength and knowledge to be able to do so. Because I'm telling you right now that this beautiful gift and idea that God has given to you, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but this is now the 4th time that they have given you this inspiration and idea. They're not going to continue to waste this on somebody, this beautiful idea or a thing that's supposed to come into fruition on somebody that's not brave enough to do so. So I'm telling you right now, if you don't want to lose your opportunity or your time or your thing, that you need to act upon this, whether you are afraid or not. Sometimes you have to do it when you're not ready, when you're afraid. And again, nobody is ever an expert when they first start off. You know, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be messy. It's not going to be perfect. But I'm telling you that you can do this. God has given it to you, and they're giving you a second chance to bring this dream into reality. So if so, that, you want to make sure that you, if so, you want to make sure that you are able to bring this dream into reality. And you have to put the 2 feet forward, and you have to be the one at the end of that bowling alley and throwing that ball forward into your reality, okay? To make that you're the only one that can knock those pins down. You're the only one that can get past that fear. You are the only one that can make sure that you bring this dream into reality, or else this dream will pass you by and you will live a life that is unfulfilled, knowing that all thinking about the what ifs, and you don't want to be that person on your deathbed thinking about living a life full of regrets of what the possibilities that could have been. Believe in yourself and get it done, okay? And I'm not even going to read the other 3 cards for you guys. I'm just going to tell you the titles of them because, you've already wasted enough time, frankly, as you need to just get the ball rolling, okay? So let's go to 64, and I'm going to read you the title of it, and you can make of it what you will. The Magic of Altruism, which basically means that you need to, stop thinking that, you are, accept that you are not, the greatest version of person that you can be, that you are settling for what you actually could have in your life. I don't care if your life is rich and you are perfect and that you have everything that you need in your life. You will never, deep down inside that you have not reached self-actualization, and so that you will be able to, you haven't reached self-actualization until you bring this idea into reality, okay? And then I'm going to look at 51, just the title of it. You can go start the car. Oh wow, I'm telling my daughter to go out and start the car, because it's time for you to just get out there and make your idea into realization. Get the keys and start the car. Just look for them. 51. Okay, 51, belief. You have drawn this sigil in a situation because it is a belief that you are not seeing clearly and what is in charge of you. So you need to believe in yourself, like I said before, because your belief, whether you can or you can't, if you believe that you can or you can't, you are right. So believe in yourself and know that you can bring this idea into fruition. And then 42, couch. Look on the couch. Get off that couch, okay? 42 is others see it and you don't. Okay, if you have drawn a sigil, other people see you or see the situation you're in much better than you currently see yourself or yourself in this situation. So basically it's letting you know that, God believes in you and God believes that you can do it. And even others in your life believe that you can do it, but you don't believe it yourself. And if you don't believe it yourself, and you don't believe in yourself, no matter how much other people believe in it or want this good and wonderful thing for you, it's never going to happen until you believe it for yourself, right? So I'm telling you this right now, is that God believes in you. I believe in you. Those who support you believe in you, but you need to believe in you and you need to see it. And again, you may have a great and wonderful life, but deep down you're settling. And so don't settle for a comfortable life. Do the hard work and try to be within the life that you deserve. All right, guys. Love you guys. See you later. Please like, please subscribe. And, if you need a personal reading, please look in the link in the description. I love you guys. Hope to see you back soon. And I believe in you. You got this. Believe in yourself.